This is Dan York, and welcome to another edition of Emerging Tech Talk. I'm here with Christopher Penn, who is well known within the podcasting community for a variety of podcasts, for PodCamp, mostly perhaps for germane to people, the Marketing Over Coffee, Financial Aid podcast, all sorts of stuff, and also generally a search engine ninja and many other different things. So, Chris, you were just talking about how excited you are about Google Wave, and from what you say, share some of your sentiments. So, what excites you most about Wave right now?
Okay, there's a couple things, well, three things about Wave that get my attention. Number one, the fact that it's a federated distributed protocol, which means that instead of, like right now, everything in social media is headquartered at a company. Facebook, LinkedIn, MySpace, Twitter, and so on and so forth. Any of these companies goes out of business or gets blown up or whatever, all of your virtual self in that company is gone, poof, away.
Right, especially Twitter, because they're like using one service provider and other stupid
Twitter,
stuff.
You name it. So the thing about Wave that's neat is that it's federated data stores. So you have the federated server and the data stores that exist either on your computer locally, at your company, just like an email server, or all over the world. If the applications exist in Wave, if I read the development docs correctly, which is not always the case, and you write your Twitter interface to Wave, you can talk to Twitter, but if Twitter goes away, the protocols and methods of the community you've built up will remain, even though Twitter itself, the company, is gone, which means that Twitter and all of your data on Twitter is now yours. It's no longer the property just of Twitter. So that's thing number one that I thought was really interesting.
Now, for that to happen, though, somebody would have to write a Twitter-like app or whatever. The
thing is, they have one already. It was in the I.O. conference demo. The first day was the demo of just the Google properties. The second day, they demoed Twitter and Facebook apps.
Oh.
Built into it.
Oh. Now, were you at I.O.?
No.
Okay.
Just watching from a distance. The second thing that I thought was really amazing about Wave was that it's almost sort of a federated middle layer of connectivity between the social networks. So if you're a developer, right now you're scrambling to write Facebook apps, you're scrambling to write Twitter apps, you're scrambling to put iPhone apps out there. If Wave takes off the way Google says it's going to take off, it means that you will write once for Wave, and not only do you not have to write for all the individual networks, but then using Wave's protocols, it's synchronous XML basically, it's XMPP. Your app can talk to all the different services, read write from each of the services. So your app could pull data from LinkedIn, bring it in, and push it out to Twitter, for example, which is just kind of really
that's
neat.
Pretty wild. Yeah. Now, so essentially, Wave becomes an abstraction layer for writing apps.
Exactly.
So you write your app to the Wave protocol and the Wave element, and then from there, there's gateways that take it into the various different services that are out there. That type of thing.
Yes. And the third thing that I just read about minutes ago was Wave will be supporting audio and video. It will be supporting any kind of chunk of data you can embed inside of XML. So any of the standard MIME types, which means that suddenly customer service, if a voicemail message comes in, if you're a customer service manager, you see, okay, it's here, let's move that over to our Salesforce application, okay? Just move it over to Twitter and see if we can communicate with this customer over on Twitter because we can't call them back. Let's say we have some video here, we want to push that video, we'll take it, pick it up, and move it over to Facebook. And it's not just passing links now, you're actually passing the media itself, which is just a real head shifter when you think about what you'll be able to do in terms of moving things from channel to channel.
So would that be, so the media servers would exist in the
Wave
Wave
federated
infrastructure?
data store, I think. If I'm reading it right, it will exist as part of the Wave protocol. So in the same way that you have SMTP and you have binary attachments for SMTP.
Right, but now you're moving out of store and forward that you'd have in SMTP into something that's real-time, or...
Yes, which means that you can have real-time voice conversations over XMPP that are also being archived, so you're blurring the line between synchronous and asynchronous.
No, so I guess over the XMPP, is it something, do you know, is it like the libjingle stuff that was being worked on, or?
Honestly, I'm not sure. The doc I was in the middle of was getting really, really, really dense. I'm like, okay, this is starting to go over my head now.
Yeah. Wow. Well, yeah, that is, I'm excited to see what Wave will wind up being. I have to admit that ever since I saw the demo, I've now noticed the latency every time I see, so-and-so is typing. And it's one of those things, right? I never really paid much attention to it. I mean, it was there, but it never really annoyed me.
Right.
Then I watched the Wave demo, and now it's sort of like, yeah, whenever I see it says something or other is typing, I'm like, come on, I want to see it now.
You want to see them backspacing, we're like, I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, right. Dan is an idiot. No. So what else excites you about Wave, or what are you looking to do with it? What's the first thing you'll do?
The first thing I will do with it is look at bonding together all the different channels that I'm on right now. Again, the end users use cases, Facebook, LinkedIn, MySpace, all these different services that I'm on and participating on, and unifying it all together so that there's less for me to manage. It will save me literally, hours and hours and hours.
Now, when you say bonding it all together, I mean, what do you mean? You can do, like, you can aggregate that through something like, say, FriendFeed or whatever today.
You can, but FriendFeed is not synchronous. FriendFeed is asynchronous. So I can't have real-time instant messaging chat inside of FriendFeed.
That's true.
I cannot Skype inside of FriendFeed.
That's true.
Which means that if I can do that inside of Wave and to have all the data aggregation part of FriendFeed, it will be really, really convenient.
Yeah, now I'm sitting there thinking about that. That could be fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. You're sitting down, you're working, you're Twittering or IMing or whatever, a call comes in, you say, okay, open the Wave voice protocol, put the headset on, hi honey, I'll pick up some milk and eggs, and then you hang up and you move that audio file into your archive, calls from wife and stuff, so that synchronous and asynchronous, and they have store and forward or store and period, just goes away. It just becomes. I mean, Twitter is the best example of something that's asynchronous and synchronous. You can tweet and chat in real time, or you can do it asynchronously and just check in once or twice a day.
Right.
It's up to you and how you want to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas with email, it's really, really difficult to do that with, LinkedIn and and some of the other social networks. They're more asynchronous than synchronous.
Right.
Wave takes all that, abstracts it, and then it lets you work, again, all based on developer docs. Will let you do things the way you want to, the way you're comfortable doing it. But it also vastly increases the virality of messages, because if you send me a episode of your podcast, I think it's really cool, like you say, distribute to Wave Network, and suddenly it crosses channel after channel after channel after channel, and it gets pushed out all these different places, and without my having to really work real hard at it.
Right, yeah. The other aspect, of course, I think is fascinating is the whole survivability capability, because it is a peer-to-peer, ultimately it's a peer-to-peer decentralized type of environment. And so if you do have a node go down or something, it will route around it, as email does, as web servers do, as all of that.
And that's the critical flaw in social networks right now, is you have too many single points of failure.
Exactly.
Imagine, take the idea of Wave, wrap it inside of Tor.
And now we've got, anonymous,
And now the government of Iran has no recourse, zero, unless they physically take an axe to the pipe itself. They have no recourse, and even that doesn't work, because as long as you have line of sight with a cell phone tower in another country, the data is getting out. So everything that you could think about trying to lock down now, if Uncle Sam said to Twitter, you are based here, shut it down right now, you can't do that anymore. Right?
Just as we can't with the web or with email, because there are servers and there are elements all around there. So
now take all the social media and make it immune to censorship.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I've been a long-time fan of what's going on with Laconica and the Identica, which is, again, all XMPP based and distributed microblogging and federated and all that. So it'll be interesting to see what those guys, what they merge in with sort of what's going on with Wave.
Yeah. My guess is because they're XMPP based, they'll probably just provide gateways to it.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see as we move into this kind of distributed, decentralized. It's where we need to go with all this. So. Well, thanks, Chris, for the time. Where can people learn more about you?
You can find me at marketingovercoffee.com if you want marketing stuff, and my personal blog is at christopherspenn.com.
All right. Well, thanks. And wait, where are you on Twitter? You should.
I am at CSPenn on Twitter.
There we go. All right. Well, thanks. This has been Dan York. You can find more information about that by going to blogs.voxeo.com/ETT, or you can send me email at dyork@voxeo.com. Thanks for watching.